Hello, our most developed student. My name is Confident and welcome to our 24-minute lesson. This is the ultimate guide in maths, science, career guidance, as well as a sneak peek in my personal experiences. This is a channel that is designed with you in mind. Let us dive into today's lesson. In this video, we're going to look at the revision session for grade 10 mathematics, and we are looking at you guys who are preparing for your final term 1 work. Specifically, if you are preparing for your term 1, it can be term 2, it can be term 3, even the final exams. These are previous papers that I'm using, and it is there to prepare you for your exams. Now let us dive into this lesson and look at some of the approaches you could have done or used as you prepare for your final exams. Now look at this. I pulled these from previous papers and I hope it's going to assist you. Now before I go through the lesson, it's always encouraging that you guys are subscribed. Remember, I have you in mind, and go down and subscribe to the subscription button so that every time I'm posting a new video, you are always made aware. So just do it now. It is going to benefit you. Trust me. Anyway, even if you don't subscribe, with time you might find that this is your channel and you will then get a time to subscribe. Anyway, let us go to this lesson. Question 1. What is it? Look at this. This is 1.1. This is 2 marks. How can you get these 2 marks? And the question says what? Factorize the following expressions fully. So here you are learning to factorize, and 1.1.1 is the first one. What are we given? We are given 4x minus x cubed, you see, and you need to factorize that. So the first things first, guys, check the numbers. Do we have any number beside 4? Yes, there is a 1 there, but there is nothing common in this sense, or 1 is common, but we can just leave it out. But what you can see that is common there is the x and the x cubed. Now the power for x here is power 1. Do you agree with me? Now if it is that, then you take out the smallest power because that is common. So you take out the smaller power, and then what is it you are saying? In essence, you are taking the 4x and you are taking the x cubed, and you are saying whatever I took as common, which is x. So you are dividing. You are saying 4x divided by x and x cubed divided by x. So the x there will cancel, and then it will give you a 4 minus, and then on the cube, remember what cube means. Cube means x times x times x. That's what a cube means. And then you're dividing by what? You are dividing by x, so that you can cancel that, and you can see that you're left with x times x, which is x squared. See, so this will be x squared there. Then you close that bracket there, so you've got x to the power of 2 there, and then you close the bracket, and then that's the factorization for that. You get 2 marks for that. Difficult? Not really. It's just the beginning of factorization. All right, so that is the first part. Let us go to the second 1.1.2. We're supposed to factorize again. They made this 2 marks. All right. To me, I usually call this one factorization by product sum method, but I'll try to shorten it for you so that because of time, because this is revision. So what are we given here? We are given x squared plus 15x, right, and then minus 54. Remember, I'm supposed to factorize. Now the first thing I need to check is that there is a 1 here, and then I'm going to take this number and that number, I'm going to multiply them. When I multiply them, they will give me the product. So my product here is equal to 1x squared times negative 54 is minus 54x squared, and then my sum is the center number, which is sum, which is plus 15x. Right, that's why I call it the product sum method. Now I need the factors of 15, factors of the product, which is 15. So in other ways, 54. So in a way, you can actually leave everything out here. If there is a 1 here, if you see that there is a 1 here, you can ignore everything that I was doing here and you just focus on this 54, the factors of 54. Now, what are the factors of 54? Or two numbers that you can multiply to get 54. It's 1 times 54. The other one is what? 2 times 27. And then I think I've got 3 times, if I divide 54 here, divided by 3, it will give me 1, and that is 18. So that is 18 there. So it's 3 times 18, and then 4 won't do, and then 5 won't do, and then 6 times 9, 7 won't do, 8 won't do. What is 8 times 7? Is 56. Then 9 will do, so it's 9 times 6. The moment I repeat the numbers, you must know that it is in a way the end of the factors. So now if I can put it back, it was 6 times 9 there. Now, as I said, I'm looking for the factors of 54. Now when I add them, we're back now. When I add them, look at the sum. When I add those factors, they must give me 15. So that won't give me 15, that won't give me 15. Somehow these two, if I say 3 and 18 can give me 15, eh? Even 6 and 9 can give me 15. If I say 6 plus 9, I get 15, right? If I add them. Now if I want to get, now look at this, when I multiply, I need to get a minus 54. So to get a negative 54, there is only one way of getting a negative. It's either one number is negative and the other one is positive. That's the only way of getting a negative. So if I can take my calculator, suppose I wanted to take this factor, the 6 and 9. So if I say negative 6 or negative 9 times 6, still fine. Do you see that it gives me 54? So one of them must be 54. Or negative 6 times 9, it gives me 54. But when I add these two numbers, when I remove that and start adding them, you see that it won't give me 15. So which means this factor won't work. What about 3 and 8? If I say 3 times 18, negative 18, it gives me what? Negative 54. It doesn't matter. I can say here negative 3 times 18, I get that. But what if I start adding here? I say plus. What do I get? I get positive 15, which works now. So the factors that I'm looking at are coming from this number here. I think that. So what you do, you can open your brackets like this, and then you do what they usually teach you at school. You put your x there, you put your x there, and you're saying the factors are 3 and what? And 18, right? And if 3 and 18, now you want a positive number, so the bigger one must be positive and the other one must be negative, and then there you have factorized. Are you with me? But you needed to be careful. 6 and 9 was not the one that you're supposed to choose. So that is you factorizing there. Let us continue to the next one. We have just done 1.1.2. What about 1.1.3? It's also factorization, 3 marks. Now look at this. This is how many? You have got 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are 4 terms. And the best way to factorize 4 terms is by grouping, whereby you take the first 2 and see if there is anything common. You take the last 2. So now look at the first 2. What is common? If I take out y outside, I told you when I'm factorizing, it's as good as I'm dividing. So it's like I'm saying y over y minus xy divided by y. That's what you're doing, where you cancel the y, so you're left with 1, because y goes into y once, and then you cancel the y in the xy, you're left with minus x. Are you seeing that? So that's what we're doing whenever we're doing that factorization. And then now the next one you're having is plus. You just take a plus and then you say x minus 1. put a 1 there. That's what you can take out. What is common here can only be 1, because 1 does not change anything. But look at the brackets and what you're having. I have got 1 minus x, but here I have got x minus 1. It's only the changing of sign. 1 here is positive, 1 is negative. X is negative, x is positive. So you need now to deal with such a scenario. What must you do whenever you're dealing with such a scenario? You take out here a negative. Now when you take out a negative, it is going to be like this: y 1 minus x, right? Now since we took out a negative, that negative will influence that to become now minus 1. Now when you do that, it will interchange all the signs also inside. X was positive, it will become negative x. Negative 1 will become positive 1. Why are you doing that? You want these two to match. Now they are matching. You can rewrite it as y 1 minus x and then minus 1. Now you can start with 1 again, minus x. Are you seeing that? So look at it. These are now the same, and that's what you needed, where you write 1 minus x and then outside the bracket you have got y minus 1. This is the factorization by grouping. Very important, and you need to practice such questions. So remember, it's very important to practice on such questions. Someone can ask and say, what if here? Still fine. From here, let's say you wanted to do it the other way around, whereby from here you want to maintain x minus 1. So you take out the, so let me write it again, 1 minus x and then plus 1 and x minus 1. Let's say you wanted to maintain that. You take out the negative here. You see, take out that negative, so that positive y will become minus y, then 1 will become negative. So x will become now positive minus 1 plus 1 x minus 1. You see, so that x minus 1 is common, so you write it as that x minus 1, but now you have minus 1 minus y plus 1, which you can start by saying 1 minus 1. Still fine. This will still be the answer, or you can say minus y plus 1. Whatever case, they will still mark you correct. Okay, so that was that question 1, I think. 1.1.3. Now let's go to question 1.2. These are the questions, guys, we expect in your exam. This is 2 marks. Simplify the following expression fully. They need us to simplify such an expression. What are you going to do? 1.2.1. When they want you to simplify this, they want you to open up this bracket where the x multiplies and the x multiplies and the x multiplies. You are expanding, so you are distributing that x. Now the 2 also will multiply. Remember, all this is multiplication, and the 2 will multiply and the 2 will multiply. So what are we going to get as our answer? X times x cubed. Guys, I'm saying x times, which is dot, x squared. See that? That's what I'm doing. And then again, now what is the sign for x? There is plus, so I will say plus x dot negative x. That's what I'm doing. And then again, plus x dot 3. We continue, plus 2 dot x squared. This is the long version, but you can do this as you are talking, you know. And then plus 2 dot negative x plus 2 dot 3. Dot means times. So when you're writing your answer, you could have left this out. Your answer can be, now if you look at it, x is 1 there plus another 2, so it's x to the power of 3 because they are multiplying. Remember exponents? And then plus, now it's x times minus x, which is negative, is powerful there, but there are 2 now, it's x squared. And then plus x times 3, which is 3x. Seeing that? And then plus 2 times x squared, which is 2x squared.
and 2 times minus x, which is negative 2x, and 2 times 3, which is 6. Then from here, guys, you collect like terms, those that look similar, and you need to check out on the powers. There is a power 2, there is a power 2, they are the same. There is a 3x, same with that. You see that? So it's collecting like terms. There is nothing with the cube, so the answer then become equal to, if I can just remove that, it will be x cubed, it's still like that, and then negative x squared, and then plus 2. So it's there is negative 1 plus 2. If you use a calculator, it's plus 1x squared. Are you with me? And then 3 minus 2 is plus 1x again, as well as plus 6. Then this becomes the final answer. You see, we have now simplified that. Okay, so that is that. I will encourage you to practice it. It's a very important question that can assist you as you prepare for exams. Now, there is another one, 3 marks. Is this 1.2.2? Simplify. It's fractions, guys. What do you do with fractions? It says 5 over x plus 3, agree with me, minus 2 over 2 minus x. You can work it like that, but what I want to encourage you to do, okay, let me just work it like that and see what it gives me without, I'll work the other one down here, but let's start with this one. Equal to, common denominator, you just take, what can I say, actually I can say, yeah, we can use this version, still fine, whereby you multiply the top and the bottom. See that? You multiply the top and the bottom, and then you multiply in between. Let's use that. So let's multiply the top, which is 5. Now when you multiply with the bottom, you put a bracket because of that minus there. I see that. And then you have minus 2, multiplying the bottom again, put a bracket because of that plus there. Do you see what I'm doing? Divided by, now you multiply both, which is brackets, x plus 3 and 2 minus x. Seeing that, then you can say equal to, now you open that bracket, 5 multiplies, 5 multiplies, minus 2 multiplies, and minus 2 multiplies. You distribute that. 5 times 2 is 10, 5 times negative x is negative 5x. Alright, 2 times minus x is minus 2x, and then minus 2 times 3 is minus 6, and then you continue to say this is x plus 3, and then it's 2 minus x. So let's continue and see where it takes us. Now you collect like terms. There it is, 10 minus 6. What are you gonna say? It's 4, because I'm looking at it, these two are common, so it's 10 minus 6, and then again the center ones are common, which is minus 5x minus 2x, which is, use a calculator there to cross check, is minus 7x over x plus 3 and what? And 2 minus x. Guys, you can always test your answers in such a case. It's very important to test. I'm going to show you how you test it, but let's do the other version that I was wanting to do. The other version was, when you give me this question here, let me just remove this. So when you're giving me this question to say minus, so what I can do is I can take out a negative and it will affect. If I take out a negative, there will be 2 negatives, the one that I took out and this negative. So it will be 5 over x plus 3. I just want you might ask, why am I doing that? So negative is plus 2 over, and then it's x. Remember, you interchange the signs. Negative x become positive x, positive 2 become negative 2. It was not necessary per se, but it's much more acceptable to have like x plus 3, x minus 2. This concept is important in other mathematical operations. or question they might give you. Now you can then use the version to say my common denominator is this 2, put a bracket like this, which is what? X plus 3 and what? X minus 2. So what we're saying is you roll off and then you are saying x plus 3 into this x plus 3. So in a way you are dividing the first one over x plus 3 so that it cancels, x minus 2 is remaining. So you write that x minus 2 that is remaining. You understand what I was doing? So in a way you are cancelling like this, you cancel, you're left with x minus 2 and you multiply with the top. Are you with me? So let's do that. So we are going to say 5 the top multiplied by what remained, which is x minus 2, plus, again if you cancel here and cancel here, the 2 on top here will multiply what is remaining there. Are you seeing that? So it will be what? It will be 2 multiplying x plus 3. Are you with me? So now when I continue that, apologies for that, if I continue now, it's again a matter of opening the bracket like that and the 2 coming in like that. 5 times x, it's 5x. 5 times 2, and negative 2 actually, is minus 10. 2 times x is 2x. And then 2 times 3 is positive 6. And then you've got over, you still continue with your x plus 3 and what? X minus 2. You collect like terms. Now look at it. 5x and 2x, it gives us 7x. Minus 10 plus 6 is minus 4 over, it's what? X plus 3 and what? It's x minus 2. So this becomes now the answer there. Alright, but if you look at these two, you compare these two answers. You know what? They are the same answers in the sense that if I took out a negative here, the negative was going to interchange the top to such an extent that I've got 7x minus 4. Look, 7 is negative, 4 is positive. And then over what? X plus 3. Because I took out a negative on the second one, it will become x minus 2. So these are things that you can do. Now next one, look at this. This is exponents. How many marks is this? This is 3 marks. It says what? Remember the question is simplify the following expressions fully. Now when I'm given this, it's 25 to the power negative x. So you must always ask yourself, why are they giving me 25, 15 there? Now if you take a calculator, you say 25, take a calculator, say 25 is equal to, do that, say 25, and then after that press the equal sign, and then you press shift and then press FACT. Fact is in a part where there is this button, something like that. Let me take a calculator and show you where it appears. Your fact is somewhere here on this button. It's FACT at the bottom there. It will say 25, it will give you 5 squared. So when you convert these numbers, it will give you 5 squared, that is 25. Then you put a bracket, you have got minus x. See that? Dot 15, it will give you 2 for me 15, it will give you 3 times what? 3 times 5. It will give you that. But look at this, very careful. If you write like this, x plus 1, you have already made an error. You have lost the game here. Why? Because x plus 1 now it's as if it's only affecting 5. But now what you're supposed to do, just like what I did here on the first one, always put brackets. That will help you a lot. Don't forget the brackets. Over 3 to the exponent x dot 5 to the power negative x. Are you with me? Now equal to, then remember these brackets means these guys, they multiply. So you've got 5 on top, 2 times negative x is negative 2x. Right, then times, again this bracket means this guy is affecting 3 and 5. So you've got 3 to the power x plus 1 dot 5 to the power again x plus 1. Then at the bottom you still have your 3 to the power of x dot 5 to the power negative x equal to, it's up to you how you want to simplify, but you can actually take everything to deal with 5. So we can say 5 to the power negative 2x is on top. Then remember, when it's the bases are the same, we add. So it's plus x plus 1. Then this one at the bottom, when it goes to the top, it was negative, it becomes plus x. These are rules of exponents. If it's negative x, the moment you take it to the top, since it's 5, it becomes positive x. Then we continue dot 3, we do the same with 3, x plus 1, right? Then this positive x, when it goes to the top, it will become what? Negative x. Are you with me? Then you continue now to say 5 to the exponent. Now it's minus 2x plus x plus x. So you will see that this will cancel out. So you're left with 5 to the power 1 because it's minus 2 minus 2. So you've got 5 to the power 1 dot, again 3x minus x dot 3 to the power of 1. Then the answer becomes what? 15. Do you see that? Again, let me come back to my testing, because it must always in a way give you an answer. Let's test here and say choose any value of x. Let's say our x is equal to, let's maintain our 5, and we put 5 there and see it must give us what? 15. You choose any value of x. Now let's put it there and see what it's going to give us. So I've got fraction, then this is 25 to the power negative 5 times, that dot is times 15 to the power, remember it's 5 plus 1, okay, all over 3 to the power of 5 times 5 to the power of negative 5. If I say equal to, you see it's giving me 15. You can choose any number. So those are the things that you can use to help you to test your answers. I always prefer it because it makes me in a way feel more confident with my answer. Next one, question 1.3, it says we need to determine the value of that, and it's 3 marks. So it's one question that is important also. Determine the value of this if this is that. So they've given you that being that and that is that. Now what is, they gave us 3p plus q squared. Guys, don't forget that squared means there are 2 brackets like this. That's what that squared means. Don't be tempted to say this and this. You will get it wrong because the plus does not allow you to do that. Did you hear me? This is different from 3p times q. If there was a 2 here, then you're allowed to say, because of the times, you're allowed to take this inside. It must affect 3p and q. Are you with me? But because of the plus, you can't do it. It means it's twice. So I've got 3p plus q and 3p again plus q. Don't say minus q. It's not a difference of 2 squares. It's a square, meaning it appears twice. Then you open the bracket. This multiplies and this multiplies. This multiplies and that multiplies. So 3p times 3p, 3 times 3 is not 6, please. 3 times 3 is what? Is 9. This is 9p squared. 3p times q, which is plus 3pq. Then q times 3p plus 3pq, and then q times q is plus q squared. Now, which is equal to, look at this, 9p plus q squared. Where is this one? I can bring this q to 9. It will be 9p squared plus q squared, and then plus 3pq, and then plus, actually 3pq plus 3pq, I can add it to give me what? 6, right? Plus 6 PQ. Now they told me this guy here is what? Is 12. So it will be 12 plus 6, and my PQ is what? Is bracket negative 3, which is equal to 12 minus 18, which is equal to negative 6. According to their answer, they wanted me to get that answer. Alright, so you needed to, not a difficult search, but you needed to work your way towards this so that it can come out clear. Alright, so that was that, guys. Let us look at the next one. It says solve for x. I must solve for x, meaning I must find the value of x. First one, how many marks is this? It's 2 marks. Look at this. This one, guys, we are making x subject of formula. This is subject of formula. Alright, don't forget that. So what you do is, if you see x appearing twice, there is a plus or minus, you are factorizing. So you factorize x outside. So when you cancel there, you are left with p plus q. See that? So that when I open it, x times p is px, x times q is qx. Are you seeing that? So that's what I'm having. And then is equal to what? Is equal to a. But they say solve for x, meaning there is a multiplication here. The opposite of multiplication is division. Divide by what you don't want, which is p plus q. I don't want that, so I divide by that. What I do on the left, I must do on the right. So there is my value for x. X is equal to a over p plus q. So you are writing a in terms of a, p, and q. That is solving for x. So guys, don't let this question confuse you. That is the end. That's it. Next one, back again to product sum method, where you need to factorize here also. Now, but when you are factorizing here, you need to be careful. I want to factorize this for you. Look at this. You are given what? 2x squared, pay attention now, minus 5x plus 2 equal to 0. I told you whenever you are factorizing, you do product sum, multiply those two numbers. 2x squared times 2. So your product, which is times, is equal to 4x squared. And then your sum is the center number, which is that with the sign, minus 5x. So now look what I'm going to do. My factors are the factors of the product, which is the factors of 4. So it's 1 times 4, it's 2 times 2. So which number can give me 5 between these two numbers? This is the one. How can it give me 5? If I say minus 4, minus 1 minus 4 is minus 5. So I'm going to write like this. It's minus 1x minus what? Minus 4x. This is minus 5 because minus 1 minus 4. So I'm going to take this guy and write it further here as now 2x squared. Now where there was 5, this minus 5x, I'll write these factors, which is minus 1x minus 4x. Remember, this was my 5x, minus 5x. This one. I think that. And then plus 2. Then, why am I doing that? I start having 4 items. I factorize by grouping. What's common in the first two? X. So x cancels this one. It becomes 2x. See that? So you've got 2x. And then x cancels on the other one. You've got minus 1. And then always take out a positive at first. What is common between minus 4x plus 2? 2 is common. 2 into 4, it's minus 2x. Please be careful because I took out a positive. Nothing changes on that sign. Minus 2x. 2 into 2 plus 1. But you start to see that whatever I took is not finished because I've got 2x. Here I've got minus 2x. That's where you take a negative out so that you interchange the signs, which is 2x minus 1 from positive to negative 2. Inside negative is 2x positive. Now positive is negative 1. Now the brackets are matching. Then the answer becomes 2x minus 1 and what? And x minus 2. This was what? An equation equal to 0, equal to 0, equal to 0, equal to 0. Then we have to find the values of what? Of x. So you take the first bracket, 2x minus 1 equal to 0. Therefore, 2x is equal to, take 1 to the other side, it will be 1. You divide by 2, you divide by 2. There is the value of x. X is equal to 1 over 2. That's the first answer there. Then the next one you're saying x minus 2 equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to negative 2 this side, it becomes 2. So that's how you solve those equations. Now you might argue with me to say I'll just leave it like that, but I'll say that's not clever of you. You need to test your answers. I'll just use the second one, which is easy. When x is equal to 2, I'll use both, and the other one, x is equal to half. Put it there because you want to be 100% sure. Did I get it right? So come here and say 2 bracket 2 squared. Remember x is 2 minus 5 bracket 2 plus 2. Look, there is my 0, which is good. I'm getting a 0. Where there is 2, put half. Half is 0.5. I'm just typing it faster like that to avoid this half thing. There it's 0.5 equal to, again I'm getting a 0. If this is coming out like that, guys, I'm 100% confident my answer is correct. Alright, there is another one, 3 marks. This exponents, this one, 3 marks. It's what? It's 1 over 2 to the power of 3 is equal to this. First of all, always ask yourself questions, guys. It's very good to be always asking questions. Why are you giving me this type of problem? What are you trying to hide? Check out 32. I told you what to do with the calculator. You take your calculator and then you say 32 equal to, and then you say shift, and then you press that sign to say fact. When you press it, your calculator will give you this as 3 to the power of 5. That's 32. Let me just check again with my answer. What is 3 to the power of 5? Is it equal to, actually 2 to the power of 5, sorry about that. 2 to the power of 5 equal to 32. So I'm using the wrong thing there. It's good that I confirmed. It's 2 to the power of what? Of 5. Then again, don't forget, since you know that this is 2 to the power of 5, don't leave half as half. Take 2 to the top. You know that 1 over 2 is what? Let me show you something with 1 over 2. If I say 2 to the power negative 1 is what? It's 1 over 2. So why am I doing it? You'll see that I'm going to write it like this now. 2 to the power negative 1 bracket 3x plus 1 is equal to 2 to the power of 5. Why? Same basis. So that I can use that formula which says if I've got a to the power of m is equal to a to the power of n, then when the bases are the same, I can say therefore even the exponents m is equal to n. So that's what I'm going to use here. So look, when you're given, these guys are going to multiply, but when they're multiplying, be careful. You can say same basis, then you can say from here therefore that minus 1, but is bracket 3x plus 1. Very important to put the bracket, is equal to the other side, which is 5. Then you open the bracket, minus 1 times that, you interchange, is minus 3x. Minus 1 times 1 is minus 1 is equal to 5. Take 5 to the other side, is minus 3x is equal to 5. It was negative, it becomes plus 1. So minus 3x is equal to what? Is equal to 6. Then you divide by, look, it's minus 3 times x. Opposite of times is division, but I divide by what I don't want, which is that. So it's minus 3 so that it goes, but what is done on the left is done on the right. So what is my x? Is, use a calculator, 3 into 6 is 2, but there was a negative. X is negative 2. So what do? Do I just leave it like that? No, I take my value for x is equal to minus 2 and I test it. So let's take a calculator and test that value here. and see if it gives us 32. So you've got 1 over 2 to the power of what? 3. X, remember, is negative 2 plus 1 equal to, there is 32. Always test. It doesn't take you long, but it helps you to know that you are doing the right thing. Now let us look at this question. Question says this: given minus 11 is less than or equal to 3m minus 8 is less than 4. Solve for m. Guys, how do you solve for m here? You pretend that here you have got kind of two equations. You've got, this side, and you've got that side. It's like you have got two equations. So what you do, you pretend you have got this side, and then you're going to take it to this side. Okay, let's do it one step at a time. If I say, for example, take this minus 8, remember this is an equation. It's like I've got this minus 11 is equal to 3m minus 8. That's what it's like I'm having. And I have got the center one, 3m minus 8 is equal to 4. It's like that's what I'm actually having. Whereby if I was solving the equation here, minus 8 will go this direction to be minus 11 plus 8. Remember, negative cross the sign becomes positive, is equal to 3m. Seeing that? And then even here, I take it to the other side, whereby 3m, not x now. This is m. 3m is equal to 4, negative 8 becomes plus 8. So look at this, 3m here is equal to 12, while on this other side is 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, negative 3 is equal to 3m, not x. Do you see 3m? So what you do, you divide by 3 here, you divide by 3, so you've got minus 1 is equal to m. Then here you divide by 3 again, so you've got what? M is equal to what? M is equal to 4. Then remember, m was in the center and your signs were what? Were like this. So it's minus 1 and they were like this, and then you've got 3. Are you with me? But how can you work this straight away? So this is what you do, because that's the best way to do. Don't do it the way I was doing, is too long. So it's minus 8 is less than 4. First of all, take this negative 8, this side and that side. So it will be minus 11 plus 8 is less than or equal to 3m is less than 4 plus 8. See what I'm having? Here you'll have 3, negative 3 is less than or equal to 3m is less than 12. That's the best way to do this. And then after that, divide by 3, but don't forget left side and right side. And then you start cancelling. So you've got minus 1 is less than or equal to, then you've got your m here is less than, then you've got your what? You've got your 4. But if you're dividing with a negative, the signs were supposed to change also. Take note. So this was the answer, which is, if you compare to what we did there, it's still the same. I said 3 here, but I was supposed to say 4. Sorry about that. Alright, because when you're dividing, you are getting what? M is equal to 4 here. Then the question says solve for m. It says hence write down the number of integers that satisfy the inequality. The number of integers that satisfy the inequality. So what they are saying is the number, write down. So what they are saying is, if you had a number line like this here, and the number line, we are starting from what? Look at this, be careful now. This is minus 1 and this is 4, but it says minus 1 is less than or equal to. So there is this thing whereby you shade it to say that number is included, and then it will go all the way to 4 is less than or equal to m. M is less than 4, you don't shade. So 4 you don't include because it just says less than. okay, but minus 1 we are going to include it. So how are we gonna write the numbers? So we need numbers between minus 1 and 4. You know that here I will have 0, I will have 1, I will have 2, these are integers, I will have 3, but 4 is out. So I've got minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. But it didn't say I must list them. It says hence write down the number of integers. So how many are they? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the answer here is what? It's 5 integers. Are you with me? So that is that. And then the next question, we are finalizing this thing, finishing up this part. It says solve for x and y simultaneously, whatever you want to pronounce it as. So look at this very important concept. What you do is you write the first one, 5x plus 4y equal to 21. Then look at this now. I need to write equation. This is equation 1. The second equation I want it to match. There is 2x. Yes, I write it 2x. But look, y is on the other side. So it's best I must take it to the other side so that it matches the other one. Plus y is equal to 3. Then it becomes equation 2. But now what must I do? Let's say I want to get rid of y. You can see this is 4, so I multiply this equation by 4, this one by 1. I want to make that thing 4y. So what will I have? My new equations will become, since I'm multiplying this by 1, it doesn't change, 5x plus 4y equal to 21. The other one, I'm multiplying by 4, guys, everything by 4. So 4 times 2, it's 8x. Then 4 times y plus 4y equal to 4 times 3 is 12. You see, everything multiplied by 4. The aim was to make one of the y or the x to be the same. I chose to eliminate. It's called elimination. I chose to eliminate y. From there, you rule off here, and then what you do? You put a bracket there, and you ask yourself, if it's 4 plus 4y plus 4y, I can subtract this so that it goes off. So it will be 5x minus 8x. Now 4y minus 4y is 0 is equal to 21 minus, everything is subtracting there, minus 12. We're using that minus. 5x minus 8x is minus 3x is equal to 21 minus 12. What is it giving, guys? 21 minus 12. Let me just check quickly what it will give me. 21 minus 12. Is it 7? What is it? It's 9. So now it's multiplying. Remember, opposite is division. But I cannot divide by 3. Why? What is wrong if I divide by 3? Look, if I cancel out and cancel out and cancel out and cancel out, yes, I have 3, but I still have minus x. You see, so I will have minus x is equal to 3, which is not done. So I cannot. What must I do? I must divide by what? Minus 3, so that even that goes, minus 3, so that this becomes minus. So always be careful of such things. Then the answer is x is equal to minus 3. Am I done? No. I need to find the value of y. Now to find the value of y, from these two equations, equation 2 is much simpler because already it has y there. You can use this one with 4y, but it will become a bit longer by one step. So take equation. So you say into equation 2, where you say 2x plus y equal to 3. But we know what is x, so it's 2 times x is negative 3 plus y equal to what? 3. So what is y? Y is equal to 3. Now 2 times 3 here is negative 6. When it goes to the other side, it will become positive 6. So what is y? Therefore, y equal to 9. They are the two values of x. two values, y is minus 3, x is minus 3, y is 9. But your calculator will always be your guide. What must you do with the calculator? You must use it to test from the original. So wherever you have it, put it twice. It must, those values of x and y. Let's start with the first one. 5 times x is minus 3 plus 4 times y is 9. It must give me 21, which is correct. Let's do the other one. 2 times x is minus 3 is, okay, see that 2 times x minus 3, so I'm getting minus 6 on the left hand side. 3 minus 9 minus 6 on the right hand side. Left hand side balances with the right hand side. Guys, that's what you do. But that is one way. I always prefer this one for grade 10s. I think it's fine, but it won't help in grade 11. When you're dealing with grade 11 now, you look at this equation. We call that equation 1. 5x plus 4y is equal to 21. Maybe your teacher already showed you this one. It's called the substitution method. So I'm gonna substitute here. To substitute, it's good for your grade 12 later. Now this is equation 1. Then we go back to the other one. 2x is equal to 3 minus y is equation 2. But since I've got y alone there, I can use that